Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, on the My Hero Academia reviews is my co-host Trav. How you doing today, man?
Hey, it's just us these Saturday mornings now.
Hey, D, you know he has to work early in the morning. At least he was on the first episode review that we did, and we were up super early for that one. But I'm kind of happy that we kind of pushed it back because it's like working all week, going to the gym, and then editing and doing these interviews and reviews. It can be tiring. And sometimes, man, it feels good to wake up a little bit later on Saturday instead of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch My Hero Academia, then review it. So we're reviewing episode 4 of My Hero Academia, Make It Happen, Shinso. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So Trav, you ready to go ahead and get into today's review?
Hey, and since D ain't here, I'm gonna let him know. Podcast is in the description.
Hey,
make sure you check it out.
I like it. But yeah, man, this was another amazing episode. We got to see Class 1A versus Class 1B, with Shinso being with Class 1A. I like how they went back and Shinso explained like how his quirk worked to them and how he's using now the persona device so that way that he can mimic people's voices and whatnot. I thought it was interesting to see his growth from when we had originally seen him in season 2 during the UA Sports Festival. It's cool. I mean, like all of the characters have had growth ever since season 1, especially Class 1A. But to see like the growth that Class 1B has had since we were first introduced to them, like I can't remember if it was All Might or Azawa who had said it. I believe it was All Might who said that while Class 1A, they have been through, so they have so much more experience when it comes to facing villains and doing missions. Class 1B, they've had a lot more time to study and hone their craft. So Trav, like, how did you feel about the students from Class 1B that we saw in this episode?
You know, like you just said, you could tell that they've had a lot of time to hone in on their skills and how to maximize their particular abilities. But, you know, Shinso got in there, right? And he was like, damn, this is what it's like to be in the mix. It's like wrestling, right? You can train when like people come back from an injury, they'll tell you can train and all that stuff. But when you get in the match, you gasp because nothing can replace physically being in the wrestling match. You can't duplicate that in training. And it's like that's exactly what this is, bro. Like he got in there, he was like, damn, these guys are on another level that we just ain't on because they know how to what's that, like critical thinking, like they know how to think on their feet and handle situations.
And we saw that when Kaminari and Sue, when they came up with ideas on how to take on the rest of the students in Class 1B. Now Kota, Kota, it's like he got captured. I was happy.
And then what happened?
They got his useless ass out of there.
No.
Now Beast did apologize. What?
Because then what happened? They broke this man free. He had the ants come out.
Well, no.
So that one's for Banks.
I mean, Kota, he did have the ants come out, but I mean, it didn't matter though. He still got
you're right. You're right. It didn't matter, but
and I know if we had D here with us right now, you know, D would have been crying because his boy Kirishima got taken out early on in the episode.
The best part was when Deku was like, they still got him, and that didn't matter neither, bro. He was taking out with the quickness.
They threw him, and then Vine, she snatched him up, like you said, with the quickness, had him wrapped up and had him locked away. And then of course Beast, he took Kota because Beast needed to retreat. Now I like Beast.
Hell yeah.
He's super strong. It's like Kaminari, like he grabbed Kaminari and Kaminari shocked him, and he was shocked for a little bit, but then he gained control, and Kaminari is just like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, this dude is supposed to be shocked, and even though he was shocked, he was still going, man. It kind of reminded me of Pokemon, like, you know, like when you paralyze somebody in the game. And it's just like, you're like, all right, I got this in the bag. And then like they still hit you with the hyper beam.
He still attack. It'd be like, you know, Pikachu's paralyzed. Pikachu used Thunderbolt. And it's like, well, what's the point of being paralyzed?
Yeah, exactly, man. But yo, it was cool seeing everybody, you know, get their stuff in. You know, it was cool. We're introduced to Dragon Shroud, and he's at the base watching over the captured villains for their team. And I love his ability because he can turn, his quirk, he can turn his skin into dragon scales to protect himself, and he can use them as projectiles, as we saw when Kaminari had sacrificed himself to get captured. And when he tried to shoot like a really powerful charged bolt at the beast and Dragon Shroud, he knocked it off of him. He was able to save him in time. But I just love the thinking that Kaminari and Sue had when it came to charging Class 1B, because it's like, you know, they, like you said, they've had so much experience out there fighting villains and being out there on the battlefield that it's like they're always able to, you know, think ahead. And like what Sue was saying, not Sue, but when Deku was thinking about Sue when she used her quirk, and she had went on the rundown to say that she could use her the mucus,
the toxin mucus right
to cover people, to make people think that, you know, she's in multiple places at one time. Right. So that was smart thinking on their part, because it's like now they have an even playing field, because you have Beast, who is able to, you know, use his scent to smell people and whatnot. And because they can only smell Sue, it worked out for their benefits. Now, Trav, I wanted to ask you, because I know before we started recording, you were talking about Vine. Like, how did you feel about her, man? Like, I mean, I know we seen her in season 2, and she fought Kaminari, and she beat him back in season 2 during the sports festival, and we see her beat him again. I'm sorry. How do you feel about her?
Man, I love her, bro. I mean, everybody knows my favorite My Hero character is Sue. Yeah, she's a little underrated. I've never been much for like the main boys, and when I say boys, I don't mean gender. I mean just like characters. But yeah, I never been like, my favorite characters aren't gonna be Goku or Deku, or like that's just not kind of what I look for in characters. So Sue's always been my favorite My Hero Academia character. But then, you know what I mean, here comes Ibara Shiozaki, aka Vine, and hey man, it's like she got a poison ivy thing going on. Her hair can continue to grow and grow and grow. She got real cool abilities, and I like her, man. She might make a running. Yeah,
man. I mean, bro, I just feel like with what we've seen so far for the classmates that we've seen from Class 1B, it's like they all had amazing quirks, like, you know, like every one of them. And I mean, even to go back to last week's episode where Tissa Buraba, when he increased his light shields, you know, his light bubbles, compared to when he originally came on the scene. So it's like this episode, it was really good. We got to see the showcase of everybody using their abilities, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Now let me ask you this, Trav. Did you think that Class 1B had this one in the bag, or did you feel that Class 1A was going to win this just from the get-go?
I knew they were going to overcome, bro. Like, they tried to make it seem like they got him, but I knew what the deal was, bro. And you know, something else we talked about last week that they explained on was how he uses his ability now. And then, of course, we got the he is using some of Iwasawa's. He used I can't think of what it's called.
I can't remember what it's called either, like the straps or
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on it. But whatever Eraserhead's ability to
Yeah,
You
to
know,
use the
like that's not even his ability. That's like extra stuff that he has.
Yeah, it's like a technique.
Yeah,
Like using a sort of weapon or
he's
something.
blessing him with it though.
Yeah,
he's passing the torch on to him.
Yeah. Well, bro, I mean, like to even go back to when Shinso was using the raps. Yeah, I'll just call them the raps. Remember, it's just like it still wasn't enough. It's like because he's not like how you were saying early on in the review. He's not battle ready. Like all he's done is study. Like he's trained with Ozawa, and that's it. He's not prepared to be in there because we saw like 2 times now in this episode he got caught, and even though he tried his hardest, he still doesn't have that experience when it comes to fighting in a real fight. So hopefully when we see him in the 5th battle that's going to be taking place, hopefully he shines more in that, because that's the final battle and he's going to be on Class 1B's team. So it's going to be awesome seeing him versus Deku again, because Deku did win the first time. Is Shinso going to get his payback and win this one?
Hell no.
You say you don't think so?
No, bro. Come on.
Deku
already on the sideline taking notes. This dude is.
That's another thing too. Yeah, they're all taking notes. They can see what they're doing. Yeah, for Shinso, yeah, everybody can see what Shinso can do. So it's like they're getting the information that they need. So when it does come to the final round, they'll know how to counter what he can do. But at the same time, you got to remember Shinso, he's smart, bro. So I'm sure that he already knows it's like, yeah, I'm letting everybody know what I can do. But when I get into this next battle, y'all aren't going to be able to cap on me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to next week's episode. It's been moving along well so far, just like how we had talked about in our review for Falcon and Winter Soldier. It jumped right into John Walker versus Falcon and Winter Soldier on Friday's episode, which is what I like. I like that, the whole episode, it didn't explain like, okay, John Walker did this, like, what's going to happen now. I love that with this. It's like they're jumping straight into Class 1A versus 1B, so that way they can go ahead and get that out of the way, and then we can move to the next arc. And I'm all for everything so far. So for me, I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10 for my rating for the week. What about you, Trav? And your final thoughts as well.
Yeah, I'll say 7. I'll give it 7 out of 10. But at your typical My Hero pace, you know what I mean? Like, it's not boring. This arc isn't supposed to be like real exciting and emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty much what I expected. It's still entertaining. It's great to see, and yeah, we blowing through these Class 1A versus Class B, and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see next week's episode, because we're going to have Tokoyami in action. And we're also going to see some of his hero training that he did with Hawk. So I'm looking forward to that. So just to go ahead and do an early prediction, I mean, I think you already said that you think that they're going to win in the next round too, Class 1A?
No, I think this next round they give it to 1B.
Yeah, bro, they need it, man. And
they can't completely get swept, bro.
Yeah, I don't want them to get swept, and I also want to keep on seeing everybody's abilities, because we see the one guy in the trailer, it looks like he can come out of the shadows. So with Tokoyami, like that's his quirk, that's his main ability, is the shadow.
They said that he's gonna unveil an ability that's never been seen in Japan before. So we're gonna get something new from him. I wonder what it is.
Yeah, hey.
I mean, but I don't know. So,
bro, I'm looking forward to it, and I don't know what you mean by I know, because I do not read the manga, and I am at the same pace that you are, my friend.
Okay.
And with that being said, hop in the comments, let us know what you thought about this week's episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you upset that Class 1B didn't get to win this episode? Or do you think that Class 1A, they did need it to show just how good they are? And what are you expecting for next week's episode? Do you think Class 1A is going to win again, or do you think Class 1B is going to win? Let us know in the comments. Let's talk about it. With that being said, Trav, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
And there's only one place to find your boy, and that is on the Instagrams at ZK Audio. And it's looking like Class 1B might need an extra hero. Where they gonna find one?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you for watching our video review. Make sure that you check out some of our videos that we released over the week. We have, what reviews did we release over this week, Trav? I know we have Invincible. We have Falcon and Winter
Soldier.
And we did, me and D, we did Tiger and Bunny.
And Black Lightning.
Then Black Lightning, and then Them.
And then Them.
Today we got the My Hero review, and then tomorrow we have My Hero chapter 309. So yeah,
that you don't read.
Yeah, which I don't read, but I'm going to watch a video so that way I can do a reaction to what happens. But yeah, check out all our stuff. Stay tuned. We have some more content coming out for you next week. And yeah, next week is going to be real busy for us, man. We got the Black Lightning review. We got the Demon Slayer movie review, Mugen Train. It comes out next Thursday. Me and your boy Trav, we going to the theaters to watch it that night, and we are coming home and we're going to review it with me, him, and D.
Bro, we ain't seen a movie since New Mutants.
That's the last movie we saw together. And then we also have our season finale review of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and joining us on that is Renes Rivera, who played Lennox on Falcon and Winter Soldier, and
that's a Facebook Live.
I was about to say that's going to be on Facebook Live,
our first ever live podcast.
So if you have any questions and you want to ask him, like, how was it working on Falcon and Winter Soldier, like any behind the scenes stories, make sure that you check out that. And then we also have our Invincible review as well. So, and then also on Facebook, Mortal Kombat. We're doing that on Facebook Live too. So if you want to come and talk about the movie, look us up, man. And I know we've been rambling on long enough, but we got to let y'all know what we got coming out next week. And, thank you. Thanks for supporting us. Like I always say, keep that pinky up. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Stay positive. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.